join Wilma and myself on a beautiful February afternoon. Very fortunate we got a day off work, so before we really kick into work later in the week, we're enjoying just being outside and not being paid for it, just being outside doing what we want to do. So I'm taking her on a longer walk. This is all part of a familiar walk, this is the first part, but I want to go and extend the route out and go and see some different bits. There's a footpath I want to follow, in particular across one field, which is one that doesn't get walked. It's not known anymore, and I took a bearing on it last night on the kitchen table, so I'm hoping that my map reading skills are still up to muster. I'll catch you in a bit. Well, we're approaching the point where I need to take my bearing, or I've got the bearing already taken, which is running out across this field over here, across there somewhere. As you can see, it's not a regularly walked path. There is someone down there. Actually, it's the first time I've ever seen someone there. But I just watched them stumbling about. So I know it's a bit flooded. So we'll just have to see if what I want to do is be able to line up with a hedge line and know that I'm going to hit the right point. That's what I want to do. So yeah, fingers crossed. Oh, some guy's flying a glider over there. Look at that guy. It's a model glider. I think you can see that. That's amazing. It's massive. Wow. That's pretty incredible. That's a young lad fishing. It's half term and a nice day, so it's busy. I'll catch you in a minute. So we're now stood on this rickety bridge, which we're just going to cross, and oh, dog in the water. And now the bearing here, I took this last night from the map on the kitchen table. I then adjusted it from the grid bearing to being a magnetic one, and as you, I don't know if you can see, if I get that lined up there, and then if I go up like that across the field, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see there's a post right across there, and that is bang on with where I thought it should be, which means YouTube, that I can still use a map and a compass despite the modern advances of GPS and stuff like that, and I'm quite proud of that. So I've now got a point to aim for, but I've got some very boggy ground to cross with the dog, I think. Well, this will be a good test for the 30 quid army boot. Right. Well, my feet are still dry, so that's good. Come on! Here she comes. Wow, look at that. Like a champion racehorse. Good girl. Yeah. Right, walking on. Very, very boggy field. Obviously not had anything grazing it for quite a while. Good girl. I think I'm going to go round this bit here, because although my feet are still dry from the first bit of splashing, that's got a bit more water in it. So, plus my dog's only got 6-inch legs. I don't want to lose her. Yeah. Suddenly makes sense why that guy was splashing about. So I took a bearing on a footpath that's impossible to walk along the line of the footpath at the moment because everything is so wet. It's obviously like this all the time because of the nature of the types of grasses and sedges that are growing on it. Nice sedge here. Incidentally, for you bushcrafters out there, if you isn't very good, this hasn't got much in, but if you split the pith out of the centre of that, just run a fingernail down it and split that out, that makes tinder. It's a good tinder. Any sedge, which is odd since it grows in such a wet environment. You wouldn't think that would be the case, but anyway, on with our trek. I say trek, it's just a walk. We're out for 8 miles. We haven't got far to go, really. I mean, we've only just done just over a mile, but yeah, we haven't got far to go. But it's a new route, and it goes past one of the few bits of woodland that are immediately close to me, where I live, and so I'm quite keen to check that out as a possible campground. I'm not sure what it's going to be like. You can never tell from a map, so always worth going out for a visual inspection. If nothing else, I've got the brew kit in, and we'll stop there and have a cup of char. You could say it's a wee bit muddy coming across these fields. The fields are fine, it's all of the farmers' gateways. Of course, it's not a problem if you're in a hoofing great tractor, but never mind. Well, I definitely should have worn wellies for this walk. I'm considering fitting Wilma with a snorkel because she just seems to be swimming at every gate we get to. But it's typical from here. We haven't got any option of where we go really, so we've got to go through there. Oh well. Right over on that hedge line over there is a hare. I've got the camera pointed at it right now. There was a pair of them in the field, and sadly they got a shufty on. There he goes, he's just moving now. You probably can't pick that up on this camera. And into the hedge. They got a shufty on before we arrived in the field, unfortunately, and I had the camera tucked away in the pocket. But while I've got it out, what can we see from this field? Well, beyond these line of trees here, you can see, if I go just about there, right in the distance, that's the line of the Chiltern Hills over the back there, running as a backdrop to all of this lot. Comes along here. So you've got sort of like Wendover over that way, and you've got Ivinghoe Beacon probably starting somewhere over there where you can't see right now. Spinning it round this way, the camera, you've got the village of Rosham up in the distance, up there, and we've come sort of across the field from this direction, which was Bearton and Holcut. Actually, I tell a lie. That is probably Wing, actually. A bit further away than I thought. Anyway, we're carrying on across here to Folly Farm, and eventually we're going to wiggle our way through all these fields and things. Eventually we're going to get back to the canal. I don't know if you can hear that over the sound of the aeroplane. That bird. which I can only assume is a skylark. If you know that for a fact, let me know. Look at that for a dirty dog. She's been swimming, wading, paddling. She's doing so well. Incidentally, at the point where I showed you the footpath sign in the water, I didn't hang about in there. I went splashing through it. The water came right up to the top of my boots, to this line here. And I was splashing through there, and I was convinced, absolutely convinced, that I was going to get wet feet. But I didn't. Tops of my socks got wet with all the splashing about, but they've dried off. But my feet inside the boot stayed really nice and dry, which is fantastic. Didn't expect that. I thought I'd be walking home in soaking wet boots. Anyway, onwards. So we've come into some woodland just off the footpath we've been walking. We'll go that way. Right on that edge, we'll just come in here. It's just a little block of woodland. There's a woodpecker drumming away. There he is, right on cue. I haven't seen it, even if I did see it from here. Because of its direction, it'd be silhouetted against the sun. But it's going to be a spotted woodpecker. I know it won't be a green one, because green woodpeckers, they don't generally drum. So it's definitely one of the spotted ones, lesser or greater. Couldn't tell you which though. But time to show you a new acquisition. There's a little box. I picked it up from Black's, the outdoor people. Scouting, rarely indoors since 1907. And what it is, it's a little, well, it's waterproof tin box. And in there, I've got my little stove bits, a little bottle of fuel. I don't think I'm going to bother with the food, I don't need that. I'm going to have a little brew, a little cup of tea. So I'm going to get this sorted, get this underway, and then I'll get back to you. So all I've got there is my little cheapo bottle, tin, Coke tin burner with just 4 pieces of the honey stove, Crusader cup on top with 250ml of water in it, and then because I ain't got a lid for the Crusader cup yet, the scouting box on the top to act as a lid. So I'll be able to have my Earl Grey red bush in a minute, which will be nice. So we're just on our way again now, heading towards the canal, the village of Putnam. There's a Putnam church just over there. Time now 10 to 5. So we've got, looking at that, it's 3 fingers, got about an hour of daylight left. And it's February, and now that sun's lost its strength, the old hat's gone back on because it's starting to chill down again. The end of my very large nose is starting to feel cold. That's always a good sign to put a hat on. Yeah. So we've made it back to the Aylesbury arm of the Grand Union Canal. From about 5 minutes ago. We've got 3 miles to walk. So I'm trying to get a wiggle on. I'd like to be home for 6 if possible, but I might not make it based on the speed I've obviously been walking so far. It's taken us 3 hours walking to get to this point. I know I've stopped a few times to talk to the camera, etc, etc, but it's been a slow walk today. Considering it's flat ground and easy walking, it's been it's been a slow walk. It's surprised me. I can normally work on flat ground at about 4 miles an hour, but obviously I haven't been doing anything like that today. I've just been ambling about, but we'll soon be home, and I know Wilma's going to sleep well tonight. Mind you, she sleeps well every night. We have trouble getting her out of bed in the mornings, so yeah, onwards friends, onwards. Yeah, it's definitely been wet. There's a bit too much water in the canal. So I'm not sure we're going to make it home for 6 o'clock, but it's 5:35 now. We might do, but the path we've just come along is actually quite muddy, and you're sort of sliding sideways down the banking, which makes forward progress quite slow. But I'm actually starting to wish I had those noodles at the stop, because I'm pretty hungry now, but all that means is that dinner's going to taste even better. Yum yum yum. Heading home in the gathering gloom. From that bridge up there, you can see that, it's a mile home. I'm not going to make it in daylight, damn it. And I'm not going to make it for 6 o'clock either. Oh well, it's been fun. Oh, we're literally on to the last few hundred metres now. It's a good job I know these paths, because it's pretty dark. Although I was prepped, I do have a head torch in my bag, but I'm so close to home, I just want to crack on. Oh, today's been a good day. That is one tired dog. Right. Right, we're home now and it's map time. Sid's going to help with this bit by the looks of things. So, yeah, moving out the way, see. I live in Aylesbury, there's no secret there. We came out along this canal towpath there. There's the fishing lakes, that's where I took my bearing. Sid, you're really not helping. That's where I took my bearing. Of course, this field is a very wet field with the sedges in it. Then went across these farmers' fields up to Sid's Paw there, and walked down this track to Holcott. And then, if it'll focus in on that, I don't think it's going to, but that is where the flooded gateway was, just there. Sid's into the fruit bowl now. The joys of having a kitten. And then across these fields here, which are all really, really bogging and pretty horrible, really. Crossed over an old dismantled railway line next to Dr. Beeching there, and down here there's a little set of woods where we had my brew and the woodpecker. The woodpecker was just about there, and we were sat about there. And then down to Putnam, across across the road there, back along here to the canal, and then it's a nice straight walk, although still a wet one, along back to home. Now, I was feeling quite bad that it took us such a long time, but I don't feel that bad actually, because I'd said it was 8 miles, it was actually 10 in the end. So there you go, Chiltern Hills North, Explorer 181. Yeah, it was 10 miles. It took 4 hours to walk it, so I was only doing just over 2 mile an hour average speed, which is slow, but it was enjoyable. I had a nice time, and I hope you guys enjoyed coming along for the trip.